What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to CFL Central. CFL content for the fans, by the fans. This is going to be the Week 12 reviews because, let's be real, ladies and gentlemen, it was a good week of football, as it always is up here in the Great White North, even though it's not white right now because it is summertime, but it should be sooner than later. I'm hot as shit right now. It is very, very hot in Vancouver. I am tired. I have a long day of work. Carter, you're going to carry this one, but I'm going to do my best to have a smile on my face the whole time. So,
I was about to say, you took all your jerseys down. It's so hot in there.
It is a sauna in here right now, man, and I'm dying. And you know those like little AC things? You know the little ones,
sure.
they're like the cool winds or whatever?
Yeah.
They don't work, ladies and gentlemen, especially in the house.
Oh, damn.
But nonetheless, we got some football games to review. I'm just going to kick it off real quick with my thoughts on the Calgary-Winnipeg game. Because
first and foremost,
yeah, how could I forget? A word from our sponsors.
But first, before we get into that, we got to talk about today's sponsor, which is BetStamp. Now, BetStamp is not a traditional sports betting website. It does not offer you one money line. It will actually offer you many money lines from a variety of sources and other betting websites. So that way you can make the most for every bet you make. So make sure when you download it from the App Store, or if you use the link in the description below to the website, you will use code CFL Central, so that way they know that you're coming from us and you're saving money. So that way you can make the most out of your bets and get the biggest possible payout instead of whatever just your app will offer you. So thanks again to BetStamp for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it.
All right, as I was saying before I forgot about our amazing sponsors at BetStamp, Calgary-Winnipeg. I want to get my thoughts out of this one real quick. I know I always like to give you the reins for the Winnipeg games. I always let you talk about them and stuff like that. But I had my family at this game. It was like the last day. My sister was in Winnipeg for this one. They all went. I was jealous I couldn't go, so I'm still mad at you guys. I won't take that back. But nonetheless, this is exactly what I thought this game was going to be. Like, exactly. I've got nothing to say about this game because everything I said going into this game in the previews is right. It hit the nail right on the head, like in my opinion at least. And I just had to get that out of the way. You can say whatever you'd like, Carter, because I would love to hear it. But for me, this is exactly how I saw this game going, and I don't need to say anything else. Good performances on both sides of the ball. And Winnipeg comes back out on top with a 31-29 win. So you tell me how you felt, because if I'm not mistaken, you weren't in town for this game, right? You were still away.
No, we were in Northern Ontario,
You're
so
right.
we'd given our tickets to our neighbors, who are very, very nice, kind people. And so, but yeah, I mean, this was kind of what I expected. I expected Jake Mayer to have a pretty solid game overall, and he did. And I expected that to give the Bombers some challenges, and it definitely did in bits. And it was one of those things where the Bombers, in my opinion, at least on offense, there wasn't really a standout quarter per se. It was actually pretty consistent for them throughout the game in terms of at least the way they were able to put up points. That was, and the way they played defense actually was pretty consistent as well. So take that as you will. Now, Bombers narrowly edge out the Stamps here. I think it's really important for the Bombers that they were able to get back in the win column. Even though they have such a big lead, being able to not have that loss turn into a slide starting to go down is to be able to stop that right in its tracks is really important. Because I feel like there are many teams that once you lose two in a row, that can really get you on a downward spiral, as we saw for the Red Blacks near the start of the season, as it was a team that, because of their offseason moves, had a decent amount of promise, but all it took was two short losses to the Bombers, and they were in free fall, man. Mm-hmm. And so, but we'll get into that later. So overall, I think it's a solid game, and I agree. Bombers win.
Yeah,
Collaros and Mayer both get 294 on the night, exactly the same.
See, I was pretty close with that one, and now I'll admit it, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's some Argo fans that watch this channel, and I'll say it. I don't like the Argonauts, and I never will, and I hate on your team a lot, but you won a game against Hamilton. I didn't think you would, so I tip my hat to you. That's great. Look, let's be real. This game was kind of this game was ugly. This game was not. Look. Every game in the East is ugly. East versus East is just not good. I don't care if you were a lifelong fan of 80 years of one of these teams in the East. You can't look at me this year and tell me with those records that the East has been fun this year. So it's a good game, but like It
let's
still
be
doesn't
fair here,
to me.
though.
Okay,
East
before 1 second though,
versus East,
I just gotta say
it-
to me
it-
this game it was important because at this point still I have no clue who is in charge of the East. It changes every week in my opinion. I know standings or whatever,
That's
but
true.
like at this point in the season, a front runner should be coming out, and we get garbage games like this where it's back and
And
forth at times and just mediocrity.
I think this is actually the final point where Toronto is actually starting to pull away, because I've given the Ticats a few chances now against the Argonauts, and they've had some decent success. However, as much as the Argonauts did play a solid game here, this was very much
they're 5-5.
the Tiger Cats absolutely falling apart in the second half of the game with some brutal play calls in addition to just bad plays. And I actually lost money on this game. I bet $30 on the Ticats, and I did not make my money back. However,
Rest in peace.
you can't really
He
blame
didn't
me.
use bet
The
stamp,
money-
ladies and gentlemen.
The
He
money
didn't get the
line
best
said I
margin.
would win 90 if the Ticats won this. So you know what? It was a great money line, so I took them. However, you know what? Overall, the Argonauts had a solid game here. Really have had to do a lot more focus on the receiving core for the Argonauts now that Harris is out, which I think has actually done them a little bit of benefit, as I think they saw them getting Harris and they thought they could rely on him the same way that teams have in years past, and the way the Bombers have in years past, not realizing that as great as
He's not a
Harris
young
is,
man anymore.
he has aged quite a bit. And so I think it was really important for the Argonauts to get that throwing game going, get Bethel Thompson throwing the ball more so he can finally get it down, as he's struggled with that a decent amount this season. And it seems like he's finally actually getting there. So, and that was really important, as he was really struggling with mediocrity and sometimes downright abysmal
He is
play for parts
mediocre.
of this year.
Guys,
So,
they're
I
5-5.
think-
They're mediocre. That is the definition of mediocrity. Is 500
and so-
anything. So
Yep.
until you
So-
get above that, I'm sorry, you're mediocre.
Yeah,
Until
and that's the thing, because even this game, as much as he was better, he's better in terms of being able to sometimes get those throws in when he needs, but he only was 19 for 32. He was he got 258 yards on the day, but he got 8.1 on average.
blind
which is
squirrel
not-
finds an acorn every once in a while.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if maybe he can get that consistency up, though. But that'll take us into our next game, which was the Saskatchewan Roughriders versus the BC Baby Lions, as a lot of their pieces were as they were having a lot of quarterback issues.
How dare you? Fuck the Rough Riders. If you're a Rough Riders fan, look yourself in the mirror and
I'm
shake
not a
your
Rough
head.
Rider
I know
fan.
you're not. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them. Because like, come on.
All I see is
How many quarterbacks do you need to injure this year?
There's one thing I'll give the
Seriously.
Rough Riders here.
We're down to our
had-
third string. We need to trade a pick because you killed every single one
have
of
a
our
video on that.
quarterbacks. Yes, we will, but still, like, God, I want to storm off the set right now.
Yeah,
I want to walk off
to
into
be
the sunset
fair,
and never come back.
that was that,
Fuck
that,
the
that
Riders.
play that injured O'Connor. That was a clean.
I'm not complaining about dirty. It's just
Yeah.
like, fuck
I know,
you.
I know it's unfortunate.
Come
I
on,
know, I get
like
that.
fuck you. It's just clean. It's just like you'd be
And,
saying
yeah.
the same thing if that happened to you guys. If Fajardo went
Oh, for
down and then
sure,
all your
yeah.
other guys went down, you'd be like, fuck the Lions. It
Yeah,
ain't because I
you'd be
hate you. I hate you because I ain't you. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But screw you anyway.
But
I had
as
them
mu-
winning
as
this
much
game.
as-
Still, the Lions. That
Yeah.
was wrong, but it was
I
close
had
though.
the Riders winning this game, even though and BC, you know what? For a team that went to their second and third string QB, they really were able to put up.
That's
quite a
what I
fight.
was
Now,
telling all of you
One
guys.
thing I want to make clear as well is we do have to cut the Riders a little bit of slack here as well, as they had quite a bit of offensive pieces missing. I believe they had 6 of their starting offensive
Yeah, but
players.
when you're
out.
going up
However-
against a quarterback that's career in like 8 years is
However,
not even above 50%.
MOP guarantee. So I think that kind of balances out a little bit more damaging to the Lions and the Riders, even taking into account all those starters, because again, MOP guarantee.
Can we?
But overall, this was interesting, and I'm gotta say, it was really funny seeing the Lions defensive coordinator get so animated on the sidelines. And you know what? For a third string QB, it was nice to see Antonio Pipkin be able to throw a touchdown pass in his first.
Good for you.
In one of his first games for the Lions. Okay.
Good for you, Mister.
if that was not his first game for the Lions. But
I
yeah,
think it was.
so Riders would win this game 23-16, and that will bring us into our last
Tank
game,
Bowl!
in which you had every opportunity to end the streak. Every single one.
Tank Bull. Tank Bull. That's what they need to rename Commonwealth Stadium. They need
to play.
They need to rename that stadium in Edmonton, man.
Excuse for this one.
Edmonton Stadium needs to be called the Tank Bowl because that is all that comes rolling onto that field every night they play a home game. I swear to God.
There is no Commonwealth.
There isn't
There
even
is
common sense. Never heard of it. Like,
There's no common sense.
like, come on. Like. When you walk, when you walk through the tunnel from the locker room onto the field, the big banner they have there, you know how it's always like "win at no cost" or whatever your school slogan is. It says "Common sense stops here," and then you walk on to Commonwealth Field and you lose for the 850th day or 1,000th day. I don't care. It's gonna be all of eternity.
And this is a telling sign that the Elks really need to get their crap together as well. In the sense of, if you looked at the attendance
Move them
of
to
this
Nova
game,
Scotia.
Reminder: this is probably the
Move them
best
to Nova
chance
Scotia.
This is the best chance the Elks have had to win a game at home in this season and probably last season as well. This was their best shot. And they proved that they were able to beat the Red Blacks. They did it last week, and they did it decently. And so now you're back on home field, and the expectation is you can finally break that streak. And Edmonton just unbelievably poor with, a mediocre second half of this game, but putting up only a field goal the whole first half of this game when giving up twice that in just the first quarter. That's a really bad look, and this is one of those things where the attendance at this game was poor, and I think it's simply because there's a lot of people who have lost faith in this team. And that's not saying anything on Elks fans, but that's saying something on the team. That, in my opinion, is the fan base sending a message to the team saying, listen, you got to get your stuff together. We can't be willing to fork over this money.
But I agree with you, man. It's the same. It's the same shit. Would you pay? Would you pay if you lived in Edmonton right now? Even $10? No, I wouldn't. I'm sorry. I've got better things to do for 3 hours than sit in a cold stadium on a summer night and watch the Elks lose. Like, I'm sorry, guys, but it's pathetic at this point. Like Carter said, the really one chance you've had in 12 weeks this year to finally get a dub, and you lose after you were able to smoke them a week ago. 30-12.
Yeah.
What happened in 7 days or whatever it was?
And especially getting beat by a
8
QB
days.
you traded away earlier this year.
On God.
That's a sting right in the
Absolutely.
ass.
What a week, man. What a week up here in Canada.
Red Blacks win 25-18.
Fuck Ottawa. Me and my homies hate Ottawa. I hate everybody in the CFL because, honestly, I'm not having fun because all of my cornerbacks are gone. Like, I'm sorry. What am I supposed to root for? Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what your favorite game was. Honestly, I'd love to hear it because there was a lot of shit that went down this week. Pretty good week of football, as I always like to say.
You know what, though? In BC, there is a new hope.
Ooh, Vernon Adams. Oh, our savior's arrived. Dude, he's probably going to be fucking...
Exactly.
I'd take the third string guy over Vernon Adams. At least, you know...
Ooh. Taking Antonio Pitt.
I'll take him. I'll take him. Ride or die.
We'll see. All right,
ladies and gentlemen. Thank you from both of us for watching this video. We hope you appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Follow all the links down the affiliated links in the description below. I can't even talk. Like I said, it's a sauna in here. My brain is melting through my ears. Have a great rest of your night, day, whenever you're watching this. Peace, love, and positivity as always. Sign up for BetStamp right now because they're awesome. And if you want to win money... you better find the best place to do so. So thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Peace, love, and positivity as always. And from both me and Carter, have a great rest of your day.